In this video, we're going to be sharing with you the 3 law of attraction concepts that are commonly misunderstood. We're going to show you how to reframe them, how to see them in a better way so that you start to attract what you want easier than ever. I'm with Leeor Alexandra. Here we go. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. I'm with Leeor Alexandra today and she keeps her vibrations way up like that.
Oh! Okay.
Oh.
Coffee everywhere. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Is that mushroom coffee?
It's part of the process. It's mushroom coffee, yeah.
Mushroom coffee is very good, by the way. And what we thought we would do is, there are some concepts that we see is so often misunderstood in the law of attraction community, and we're both kind of been coined as like this law of attraction people on YouTube. And while we're now moving into some different ideas rather than just the law of attraction, we felt like it'd be good to do a law of attraction video that kind of summarizes how you can attract what you want and reframing these misconceptions when it comes to the law of attraction, because these are, I think, are what hold people back a lot.
Yeah, they're the ones I hear all the time, like, how do I do this, how do I do that? Can you go over this again? Which is what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, and it's a lot of times also it's the same things over and over again. It's like, well, what about this?
Right.
How do you do this and this at the same time? All of these things. And when you have a fundamental basis for how the law of attraction works in a more powerful way, that's when everything begins to change. And I would say a very general explanation of how to get the law of attraction to work is to understand that in life you get a reflection of what you think, how you feel, and what you do. These 3 things make up what is called your personality, and your personality creates your personal reality.
We didn't even practice that.
No, but we said it in sync. And that's a very general understanding. So if there's something that you're not manifesting in your life, look at how you see yourself. Look at how you are thinking, what you are feeling, and what you are doing, and see if there's resistance there. Is there resistance in your definitions? These are things that you can begin to see and can change the whole way you go about the law of attraction. It's not just about thinking when we have also the emotions, the actions. There's different aspects of it that I think are misunderstood in general.
Right.
But we'll go ahead and now get into the 3 most common misconceptions that we see.
If you work on these 3 things, manifesting is going to be so much easier for you.
Yes, and, you're going to have a more understanding of how reality works. So, which one should we start with?
Which one? The abundance and lack.
We'll do that
really
one.
Good. Aaron's been talking about this a lot.
This is something I've been sharing recently, and I think it really makes the shift within people. I made a video the other day actually on something called paradox. A paradox is something that can be seen true from one point of view and another point of view at the same time. And it shows that the power is in the middle. The power is in the neutrality, because everything in life is fundamentally neutral. Depending on the meaning we get it is what we get out of it. So anytime something happens to you, if you choose that it is a negative thing, you will experience the reality that is also negative because of that choice that you've made, even at a conscious or a subconscious level. So it's important to understand that. Now, the paradox of this idea can make all the change in the world when it comes to how you see abundance. So here's the idea. The idea is that you could think of it like abundance and lack. There never is actually lack. Lack is something that doesn't exist the way that we think it does. There is an abundance in everything in the universe. There's an abundance in everything. We get in life an abundance of whatever we focus on. If you are experiencing lack, it's not because you are actually experiencing what you think of as lack. You are experiencing an abundance of that conception of lack, because you get an abundance of everything. So the power of this is knowing that if you experience lack, it's because you're choosing from your definitions or from your focus to focus on not having enough. Therefore, you are getting an abundance of lack.
So rather than there being abundance and on the other side of that spectrum being lack, there's just abundance. And then you have an abundance of not having.
Exactly.
So there's always plenty of everything.
Exactly. And that's how the universe works.
Right. Plenty of not having. And instead, so don't think about it as a spectrum. Instead, think about it as you are focusing on having so much, an abundant amount of nothing.
Exactly. So think of nothing as something. And think of lack as something. Because then when you see it, you can say, why am I choosing this? Why am I focusing on this? Maybe you're focusing on it because your parents focused on it. Maybe you're focused on it because you think it's what you're worthy of. But it's still something that you're choosing to focus on. This can seem a little bit harsh, but unless you realize that you are choosing to focus on lack, even from an unconscious point of view. Until you understand that, you'll keep doing it on autopilot.
Right.
And what we're trying to do is show you, hey, that you're so powerful. You are such a powerful spiritual being that you can create the illusion that you are not powerful, because that's how powerful you are. You can create the experience of not having, because you have free will in this reality.
And you're choosing it.
Exactly.
Affirming it over and over and over again with what you focus on.
What you focus on, what you feel. So start to understand that that's a common misunderstanding. There is no lack. There is no scarcity. There is no lack of a relationship. If you're trying to attract a relationship, I get that in my Q&As all the time. What about a relationship? If you don't have a relationship, you are at some level focusing on not having. You are focused on when is it going to happen. You are focused on time.
Where?
When instead you should be focused on timing. You like that?
I like that.
Okay, I listened to it in an audio thing, so it wasn't me.
What?
That little thing. I can't take complete credit for it. I was listening to a Bashar thing.
But I like it.
But it's true, because when you focus on time, you create more time. So then you create the lack. When you focus on lack, you create more of the experience of lack, but you're getting an abundance of that lack. You're getting an abundance of time, of when will it happen. The more waiting you focus on, the more waiting you get.
That's so true.
So,
and I feel like a really good example of focusing on lack and having an abundance of lack is like, you know, when you tap into that feeling of lack and you get it so abundantly, you start getting like bills are coming out of nowhere.
Right.
You get a speeding ticket or a parking ticket, and all these things pile up because there is an abundance of it.
Yeah.
So once you focus on the lack, you'll get so much of the lack.
Right.
So instead, obviously, that's not what you want to do. You want to focus on abundance. Focus on having a lot. There is an abundant, the universe has abundant resources.
Yep.
There's no scarcity.
Yeah, and it's empowering.
Yeah.
We're so powerful that we have this free will to where we can create anything we want in our life, and we can create anything that shows that we're not powerful, because we're so powerful we can do that.
Yeah.
So when we know that, we're like, well, why am I going to keep choosing to do this? I can choose this other thing. And how do you choose the other thing? By choosing what you focus on. By choosing your perspective. By making a shift in what you focus on.
Choice by choice, moment by moment.
And you start right now. Yeah, exactly. And you focus on being rather than identifying with the future as well. The more waiting you choose, the more waiting you are in, the more time you create. Okay, so the second one is one that you were recently telling me about.
Yeah, this is a huge one.
Huge one.
Yeah.
This is probably the one that even in my Q&A, when I did a little poll, is the most common one as well. So
it's definitely the most common one because it's so easy to misunderstand it. And that concept is letting go. This has been talked about in so many law of attraction books, videos. Was it talked about in The Secret? I think it was talked about.
Somehow it was.
It's such a big concept of the law of attraction, and it is really important, but it's so misunderstood.
Yeah.
People believe that letting go means, oh, I have to completely forget about what I want.
Right.
And I think that maybe in the, you know, I've done so many videos about letting go, and I think that in some version of it, I could see that I might be telling people, like, just drop it, go do something else, forget about it. But it's not about forgetting about it. It's about letting go energetically from expecting a certain outcome.
And letting go of not what you want. It's like what you want is a vibration also. So like, if you want to experience more abundance in your life, that could be freedom. More of a relationship in your life, that could be love. You can experience any of these emotions that you want. The idea is that you can focus on cultivating that energy inside of you, but not to focus on how things will happen. Because
or when or where they will come from.
The details. The ego wants to control everything. It's letting go of the ego's necessity to control the whole experience, and you let go of it. You could think of this as letting go of it to your higher mind.
Yes.
Because your higher mind knows you better. Your spirit knows better. What if you were like, I'm going to meet in a relationship, the person I'm going to be in a relationship at a yoga studio, we're going to be doing downward dog, and we're going to make this eye contact. You like that?
Great.
Okay.
Did you have this visual in your mind?
No, it's just coming to me. I'm channeling it. this, and you have all these details. What happens is then you go out to get coffee later or tea. There's somebody there that could be could be someone that you're meant, you know, that you have this deep connection with, but you may completely be blindsided by them or not even notice them there because you're still thinking about the person at the how you're going to meet this person at a yoga studio. So
you're closing off all these doors of opportunity.
Exactly.
By not letting go, by being attached to how it's going to come to you.
Yeah.
So it's not about letting go of it's not about forgetting it. It's not really even about letting go of the desire, because the desire is beautiful. It's so beautiful that there are things that you want to create, or goals that you have, things that you want to manifest. Hold on to that, because that's why you're here. You're the ultimate creator. You're supposed to want to create things. But it's more about letting go of like the desperation.
Yes. Of
the lack mindset, thinking, oh, I don't have this.
Yeah.
Where is it going to come from? When is it going to come? Why? How? How does it work?
Yep.
Is it even going to come? Those are the things you have to let go of.
Yeah.
When we say let go, we say let go of all that part of the process.
Yeah.
And just focus on how good you're going to feel when that thing is manifested.
Yep.
Tap into that emotion. So you have something that you desire, and you know there are different ways to go about it, to look at it. You could think about having that desire, like manifest. Maybe you want a new job. You can think about how good it's going to feel when you have that job, and just immerse yourself in that emotion. Act as if, do all this stuff to get yourself prepared for this job. Or you can obsess over it,
right?
Not let go, be attached, and think, where's it gonna come from? What do I need to do? What has to happen?
Yeah.
Like, think all these things that are holding you back and that are keeping you attached and not letting go.
Right. So the key to that is to shift that energy into understanding. And go ahead.
And just focus on the feeling you'll get when it's actually manifested, when it comes into fruition.
So think about this in terms of energy as well. Another analogy that I like is everything that you could possibly want to manifest is doing everything it possibly can to get to you. There's just outdated definitions you're holding on to that is keeping it from getting to you. So you don't have to track that from over there to into here. It's more about just letting go of the resistance, letting go of the negative definitions, let go of the belief that it's not already here, and by letting go, you allow it in. So it's much easier. Manifestation is really meant to be easy. Manifestation is a natural byproduct for the way reality works. It is not something you have to learn how to do. It is something that you can become aware of and then become more conscious of what you are manifesting.
Right.
Somebody that says the law of attraction doesn't work, they're creating for themselves an experience of the law of attraction not working. They're getting exactly what, they're manifesting exactly what they're focused on without even knowing it.
Yeah.
But the question is, can you shift it to something you want to manifest that is more conducive of what you want? Can you be more aware of it, more deliberate?
Create.
Exactly.
Deliberate intention, deliberate creation. And can you get out of your own way? Let go so that the universe can fulfill what it needs to do.
Exactly.
Higher self can do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
And make this happen.
I
Don't
agree.
worry about the how, when, why, where. That will come. Is that what we want to talk about next? Action?
Yeah. That's perfect segue. So action. So this is something that we see as a common misconception when it comes to the law of attraction. A lot of people believe that action is not a part of the process. Now this is a double-edged sword that we're going to be sharing with you, because it's not that we're telling you to go grind your nose put your nose on the grindstone and just don't put your head up until you're just, you know, there, no sleep and all that. We're not saying that. But what we are saying is so many people in the law of attraction community seem to be refraining from doing and putting in that physical movement, putting in that action somehow. And in my own life, and I share this story a lot, but just in general, kind of, you know, summarizing it, most of my success has come from embodying my passion. Passion is a high state frequency, is a high vibrational frequency, but it's come from me taking action. It's come from me making videos, doing daily videos on YouTube for a year or for 4 or 5 months is what got me to go full-time on YouTube. It was action. So for me, I've been rewarded for action, but there's a balance to this. It's about being aware of it, which is why inspired action is where it is, which is why you want to identify your passion, you want to choose to be acting on your passion, and then to take action in that way. So understand that in general, in higher dimensional states of consciousness that we exist in, when you go to bed at night, you go beyond that time-space reality that we're in now, and you can manifest things instantly, because you're not bound by time and space. But in this reality, we have time and space. So we agreed as a physical template of this reality, we agreed to be a part of this physical collective consciousness where there is this matter experience of form and time and linearity. Now we don't have to emphasize it so much, but when it comes to this process, we agreed to have physical action be a part of this process, because in higher dimensional states of consciousness, we don't always have this kind of experience. It's fun to be here. It's fun to be embodied.
Experience having to take action. That's the journey, and
this reality.
This whole life is a sort of journey. So when we want to manifest things, there's a journey in that too.
Yeah.
So I always say, like, when you're here and you want to get over here, you go. The journey is usually like this, and there's flux. Ups and downs, there's ebbs and flows, but that's part of the whole process. It's like we want to do that, we want to experience that, and we want that movement. We don't want to just stay here and get everything over here. Right. We want to grow. Yeah. We want to experience. We want contrast. We want to feel these. That's why we're here. Yep. Yeah.
Because also remember, it's not what you get, it's who you become. For me, making daily videos on YouTube, I went from a consumer into a creator. Not to make anyone feel bad if they're not creating content, but it changed my identity. It changed the way I saw myself, and now my reality is equal to the way I see myself. We're on vacation right now, but we're still making videos because it's not we have to.
We want to.
It's we want to, and it's who we are.
Yeah.
This is us. This is what we do. We make content. This is who we are. So understand that that's a common misconception. Maybe really, really quick. We'll talk about visualization.
Oh yeah, visualization is a big one.
Yes.
Because a lot of people aren't as visual as others. And there's kind of a rating system for how visual you can be. Like there's like 1 out of 10 to 1 through 10. And you don't visualize the same as another person. Everybody visualizes differently. So a lot of people come to me and they're like, well, I can't really see this thing. I don't really have a crystal clear image of what I want. Can I not manifest it? And I think that that's also a misconception, because there are people who don't visualize at all and still manifest the lives of their dreams.
Yeah. Visualizing doesn't have to be, even though it sounds visual, the purpose of visualization is not that what you visualize has to come to fruition. The visualization is a symbol and a tool that you use to get yourself to feel a certain way, and that feeling then downloads and allows that reality in. You then become more and more of that reality. So say you want to become abundant, you visualize yourself being abundant, going doing what you love for a living, you imagine yourself in a high vibe state, and when you imagine it, your mind doesn't know the difference between what you imagine and what's actually happening. And it doesn't have to be visual, it can be a feeling.
It should be a feeling.
It should be a feeling, exactly. So knowing that, it doesn't have to be visual, it can be a feeling. What can you do to get yourself to the feeling of what you want to create in your life? If it's love, then focus on the love that you have with an animal or your family members.
You have, sources of love that you already have. That's why, like in one of my programs, I have a love list that you list things, different things and aspects of your life that you love every day. And just focusing on that love creates this emotion. This is a type of visualization, even though it's not so much visual. You're just tapping into emotions in order to manifest an aligned reality. To bring things to you that create that create similar or the exact same emotion.
And so I think that in general, when we bring it back down to emotion, bring everything down to an energy and an emotion. Because what you want when it comes to abundance and lack is what you want to feel abundant. You focus on that emotion, you'll become more abundant. But if you focus on lack, then you almost in a way hold that lack from coming into your life, but it's not even that. You're getting an abundance of that lack. Understand that when it comes to this energy dynamics of letting go, it's about letting go of how things happen. It's about being in the state of being that you prefer, not needing the outside to change for you to change. And then by being in that state, you experience your reality as equal to it. And once again, with action, it's the same thing. Be in the vibrational state, the emotion, the physical action is a component of that momentum. So by doing so, we create more and more of what we want. So these are the top 3.5 things.
Nice wrap up.
Yeah, thank you. That's the top 3.5 misunderstood things of the law of attraction. We think that if you start to focus on those things and this new way of understanding abundance, how to let go, like Leeor was saying, in a powerful way of letting go of the how and needing it to happen in a certain way, you could begin to change in a very powerful way, and you'll start to embody more of who you prefer to be, which may include action and getting to that state of being you want. So if you haven't already, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't already, Leeor Alexandra has an amazing YouTube channel. She creates videos many times a week, almost every day.
Every other day.
Every other day. So
a lot, okay?
Yeah.
Not at Aaron's level just yet.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
My inspired action was every other day, and I love it.
It works really well for you. So, subscribe to her. You'll see her link right in the top of the description box below. So, subscribe to her. She also has an Instagram that she posts to very often as well. Other than that, any final words?
Keep your vibration
way, 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 way up. And we will see you guys on the next video.
Bye.
Peace, much love, and namaste.